Matthew, I am so glad to have you with us today. You have been writing and talking about the metaverse for a long time now, so you have such great perspective on Facebook's big announcement. What is your take on Mark Zuckerberg's plan? Do you think that he's going to be able to build his company Meta into the primary or a primary both platform in terms of software and hardware for this new world?
Well, it's nice to see you. I think when we review Meta platform strategy here, it's important to recognize that they're spending up to $12 or $14 billion per year in R&D. They have 3 billion daily active users, and they have a founder that's in control of one of the most significant, powerful companies on earth with absolute conviction. It's very difficult to doubt what can be pulled off with that collection of resources and commitment. And at the same time, we saw an enormous evolution in his thinking. CNBC reported from a memo in 2018 that at the time, Facebook thought they could dominate the metaverse, that they would have 50% market share in the metaverse. We saw a very different Mark last week. That was one who talked about interoperability, participating as a co-equal platform in this future. That's a future I can sign up for. That's a future I'm more optimistic of. And it's one in which it's hard to imagine Facebook not being relevant.
Well, Zuckerberg also took a dig at Apple and Tim Cook. He said that he wants their platform for the metaverse to be very different and much more open than what Apple has done with the App Store. And I'm wondering if you could give us a sense of who you think are going to be the big winners here. You know, we talked about Microsoft and what they're doing. We know Apple's going to be making a play into this space. But do you think that we're going to see this Facebook-Apple war continue into the virtual world?
I think to some extent, a ongoing conflict with Apple is inevitable. When you take a look at their perspective, they fundamentally believe that they should own both the user relationship and the developer relationship. That's at heart of Epic versus Apple, this contest over the App Store. And many partners investing in the metaverse fundamentally believe it impedes the development of this next generation internet because Apple unilaterally defines the profits of developers, the technologies that are being deployed, and who can even participate in this space. They are the single largest draw of potential profits from Roblox, from Minecraft, and now they're precluding Epic from participating. I think overall, we're going to see a number of different companies competing with whichever points of leverage they have: hardware, payments infrastructure, software and standards, compute in the case of NVIDIA, to try and get a leg up on their competitors.
Matthew, you mentioned use cases in the metaverse, and obviously Facebook was a lot about, say, family get-togethers. Microsoft talked about onboarding new workers. We've heard from Match today about dating. Gaming is already well understood. But I wonder, when you think about the classic use case that will help this make sense to the layperson, what's it going to be?
I think the easiest way to think about this is how it's finally going to disrupt one of these categories that has resisted disruption in the internet era, which is education. Among the many lessons we learned during the COVID-19 pandemic, it's that we're not ready for remote education. It's terrible. Parents hate it and kids hate it even more. And yet with the metaverse and related technologies, we have the opportunity to regain a sense of presence, to feel and see your teacher, your colleagues, and to do something more than just look at your teacher or enter a multiple choice quiz via your mouse or a touchpad. You can immerse yourself in a real life, real-time magic school bus. Learn about a volcano, not with baking soda and vinegar, but by going inside one and in fact seeing how that would differ on the oceans of Venus. That's a compelling use case, one that I think teachers and parents will agree is superior.